Talk about an intense and unsettling watch on Netflix. Today we're going to talk Seven Prisoners. Let's do it. What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. A brand new Brazilian movie on Netflix is here. It's called Seven Prisoners. Like I said, this is an intense watch. We're going to talk about it spoiler-free. If this is your first time tuning into this channel, welcome. We talk all things Netflix and streaming. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be awesome. But let's get into this. So, to provide a better life for his family in the country, 18-year-old Mateus accepts a job in a junkyard in São Paolo for his new boss, Luca. But when he and a few other boys become trapped in the dangerous world of human trafficking, Mateus will be forced to decide between working for the very man who imprisoned him or risk his and his family's future. So like I said, our main character, he is doing exhausting work in this scrapyard, along with all of these other boys who have been basically seized by this vicious taskmaster and exploiter whose name is Luca. And basically there's an overwhelming threat there, like if we try to do anything or escape or confront anyone about our situation, then the unthinkable could happen not only to us, but their families are at risk here as well. So the looming threat above all of these young men is terrifying. And this movie as a whole, like I said, unsettling. It may not be the most entertaining film you'll ever see, but it's so well executed, I couldn't help but to be enthralled on occasion. Now, is every moment in this movie as compelling as the overarching premise? Not necessarily, and I did have maybe a couple of nitpicks here and there with where we would go, and then the ending, which is one of the more realistic endings I've ever seen. And of course, that humanity inside of me wanted to see a bit more of a triumph over certain situations. Instead of that, we get an ending that feels real. Now, is that a good thing for certain things about this movie? No, but I do respect a lot of things about the filmmakers' ideas for this film, not only in that third act and kind of where it goes, but the restraint shown, right? You could have made this more fast-paced, more adventurous, and made it feel, and I hate to use this term, more Hollywoodized with certain, whether it be cliched lines of dialogue in there or just an overall sense of urgency. And there's urgency here from our characters to escape this situation, to get out from under the hands of this man who put them there and basically manipulates them. At the beginning of the movie, he tells them, all right, you're going to get this, you're going to get paid. But by putting them in this situation to start with, there is a debt that they have to pay off. And because of that debt, they are forced to stay and do whatever they are told to do. And essentially that is working, right? But you're still exploiting these young men, and it is a very different case of human trafficking than what we're normally seeing in film. And I like that. I like seeing, I don't enjoy it, but I like seeing this type of representation, things that are happening around the world as we speak, as I speak, right? I love movies, I love TV shows, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not what's most important. What's most important are human lives and the kids who have to go through this type of thing every day. And the fact that this movie is putting that on display here, as difficult as it is to watch, it's extremely well done. And it's such a great representation of this type of situation. And again, I'm using words like great and enjoyable, but I don't mean them in the sense of liking the situation. It's liking what this movie is trying to do and the filmmaking behind that, whether it be the cinematography, like I said, the restraint shown by the director, or the performances, right? All of the kids are good. A couple of moments of heartbreak, especially Mateus' character is entertaining, but I'd say the scene stealer is Rodrigo Santoro as Luca, who is kind of the familiar face of the cast here. He is as haunting as you need him to be, and even though it didn't do much for me in terms of me liking this guy, but they do try to show some humanity there, which puts our lead character into the most horrifying situation because he has to make a decision. Do I do what's best for myself and my family? Do I help others? Or do I put everyone at risk? It's like the constant series of decisions that he's having to make here. It is just, I mean, it's a haunting, haunting film, but everything is so beautifully done. And even though I personally wanted more from the ending, I wanted a more gratifying conclusion, that's not what our director decided to do here. And the idea of going to this place that represents a great opportunity for these young men and seeing all of the sights that are to be seen at the beginning, and then basically getting locked in this prison cell that they cannot escape from, is as intense and tragic as you could imagine. Before I give you guys my score, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, drop your thumbs up down below. There is a realism here that makes this film as intense as any other on the platform. It is a tragic yet well-executed story that will open eyes everywhere. My score is a solid 72%. Again, this is a good movie that I recommend. It is a very difficult one to watch. That's absolutely true. So just kind of know what kind of movie you're in for. Not one for kids, not one for families. All right, you guys are the best. See you soon.